think the next step is to probably get costs. We'll try to do that by next meeting. And I think after that, we need to get some folks signed up to play.
Well, my brother is very active in pickleball out in Colorado. They go to Arizona and play and everything. But they're coming in July, and depending on where this is, they would put on, yeah, well, a clinic is what I was after. And also there is a representative out of the Williamsport area. Pickleball is just growing like you just wouldn't believe it. Go on the computer, they now have a website, the whole 9 yards. But anyway, they have representatives in different areas, and they will come down and also help, assist, and so on and so forth.
It's a lot of fun, and like I said, you know, it's designed for people my age, so we can have a good time and not have to wrench your knees out of place. So.
And we would play on the tennis court?
Yeah, we can play. We can take one of our tennis courts. Actually, we can take one tennis court and make 2 pickleball courts. So that's how much smaller.
Here's what you want to do. When your brother comes in, give me a call and I'll round up some of these guys and we'll try not to embarrass ourselves and go see how it works.
Okay, you need to get it all set up by then, rackets and whatever. Down in Colorado, everybody has their own rackets, you know, but the YMCA where they play, they have 4 courts there. And
Do they have their own racket? Is this a special racket or is it usually
Yeah,
tennis
it's
or
a
golf?
it's a solid racket.
Smaller than a tennis, I'm assuming, but bigger than a badminton or what?
Almost as big, but it's solid. It doesn't have webbing. It's like a big ping pong table.
Have you ever played paddle tennis? It's about that size.
And we play it with like a wiffle ball type thing. 4. I mean, you can play it.
It's doubles, so you have two people teams. And big in Florida. A lot of the retirement communities down in Florida. It's just big now.
Okay.
All righty. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Bob Worley. Yeah, I have a concern on the Keller Street playground down there, a safety issue. I don't know if it was brought to Mr. Ister's attention about the slide down there. Last year when I sort of broke, but one of the people down there took pictures and showed Mr. Pratt. Okay, I have a picture here, but the plastic slide has a hole about this big on the one side, and little kids, it's kind of, somebody's gonna get hurt real soon, you know, because the plastic is busting through, okay? Either they can fix it, you know, hack it, or, you know, whatever they'd like to do. But it's just a safety concern for the kids. Now that summer's here and they're all out, you know, the little ones.
Well, yeah, thank you, Lance. We don't know it, so we didn't tell us. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Regina Russell, community activist and American Red Cross volunteer, which I'm very proud to say that I am. I am also a handler for a therapy dog, and we do visit the senior homes, hospitals, prisons, and schools. I am concerned again about the property at 350 and 354 Walnut. I read our community news for spring of 2014, and there's an article in there from the Sunbury Fire Department. And they mention how they strive to be the best that they can be through training, practice, dedication, and their cause. Well, that's the same thing that the American Red Cross does. They train us. I'm on the disaster team, so we get trained in fire safety, first aid, CPR, so forth and so forth. Again, I'm trying to say, I started out with a parking issue because the person is allowing someone in that house to park a vehicle that covers half of the public sidewalk, open way, however you want to define it. But no one seems to be addressing the real issue. And I understand from the video that I watched, Miss Penny Knowles is an advocate for children. The house she has, I don't know how many children are in there, but I do know that there are kids with disabilities. And I feel that as a public safety person, that someone should look into that person blocking the entrances to 2 of the houses that are connected there. And it seems like it's more of an ego instead of really looking at the issue of fire safety. If it's fire safety, you cannot obstruct any doors. I'm sure all of you that live here, if you have a house, you're not obstructing access, accessibility in and out of your homes. And I say the same thing for someone that has children, and the children should be the concern. Not the fact that I'm coming here and I'm complaining, and it's being called frivolous complaints, because it's not. And I would like that to be addressed at some point. Another thing I want to address, sir, is that when you go online to the code office and you have categories such as administration, complaints, highlights, permits, so forth, there is a paragraph under code complaint. And under there it says, your personal information will be kept confident or confidential. I really have a grievance about my information being given out when I'm filing these complaints online. And I don't appreciate it, because to me, it's putting my life in jeopardy that people know who I am, where I am, and they can come and damage my vehicle or my property. If you're going to encourage people to make complaints and then say that this form is a way for the residents of Sunbury to help keep Sunbury beautiful, I don't feel that that is encouraging someone to do the right thing. And the right thing is, I come here, I tell you I see a public safety issue, and I'm going to be threatened to be locked up because I make these complaints. So I'm going to continue to make the complaints. I'm not going to be discouraged with the threat of being locked up and told that I'm making frivolous complaints, because there's no evidence that I am making frivolous complaints.
What's the information you're talking about? You're talking about, I don't understand what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the fact that when I make complaints, and I've been making complaints for 2 years. Yes. Well, on the video, the young lady makes reference to her. How, so how does she know it's a her? And then how does she know that I use the sidewalk or not? She also made the statement of saying she doesn't use the sidewalk. So how does she know if the vehicle is blocking the sidewalk or not? So how does she know who I am, or if it's a she,
he? You come to every
he?
meeting with you. Why wouldn't she know who you are? You come to every meeting. She has to hear when people have to go back in the neighborhood and tell her. Yeah, the meetings are on YouTube.
Oh, the meetings are on YouTube. Well, then she would have been here a long time ago.
Maybe she watched the same video you did.
I'm on the answer.
Here again, guys, I'm not coming here for you to bash me because leadership is not bullying anybody. Of course, she could have looked at YouTube. If that's the case, then long time ago she should have corrected that matter. I'm surprised that Child Protective Services hasn't looked into the fact that there's a code violation there. Maybe the city code office doesn't recognize it as a code office, but it is a fire code issue. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I just have a question. Wouldn't that, what she was talking about, wouldn't that at least be a parking violation?
Yeah, but they don't want it to do
It's
that.
not. If you read the ordinance, it's not a parking violation.
It is a parking violation.
I'm sorry, what's your name, sir?
Terrence Bossert.
Anybody else?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Evening, Mr. Singh. I was watching you tonight and give you last week before the meeting started. Friday the 6th of June around 4:15 p.m. I had occasion to call the 911 centre to report suspicious activity outside my stepson's rental in Walnut Street. The subject has a warrant out for his arrest. issued by Snyder County Parole for a Snyder County parole violation, and had previously threatened my stepson and his girlfriend. An unidentified officer showed up driving the blue unmarked car normally used by the chief of police. He spent all of 2 minutes chatting to the subject, apparently joking with him and his girlfriend, and then drove away, not even bothering to check on the safety of my stepson, even though there had been an incident there on Wednesday evening which had necessitated the dispatch of 3 police officers. Was this officer aware that there was a warrant out for the subject's arrest? I did advise the 911 centre of this fact, and if so, why did he not arrest him, rather than leaving him free to roam around city streets? Also, why did the officer not bother to check on the safety of my stepson before driving away? Please reply to this letter prior to the next meeting of the City Council, scheduled to take place on Monday, 23rd of June 2014.
I will get that report, but June the 6th, you said what time?
It's around 4:15 p.m.
Okay. And what, I don't know what your address is. What is your address? What?
This address is in Walnut Street.
Oh,
My address is on that here.
but where did this incident happen? At your house?
No, at Walnut Street.
Oh, lunch.
Yeah, 400 block on Walnut Street.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Anything else? Discussion, well, we did that with the city match. Announcements, music in the park, Tuesdays at 6 o'clock, June the 10th. Maggie Kurtz, June the 17th, Smooth Country, June the 24th, Counterfeit Dreams. I want to thank everybody for coming.
What's the date of the fireworks?
The date of the fireworks?
July 12th.
July 12th.
That's the second Saturday, it's always the second Saturday.
That's what I thought. In the paper it said the 13th. That's
Well,
why.
I don't know what, I mean,
Okay,
around, it's
that's
always the
fine.
second Saturday.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank everybody for coming. Meeting adjourned.
You're asking a lot of questions. I mean, you're asking a lot of questions, and they don't have to bash now.
Yeah, that woman.
You guys, you want any tomato plants? I have no idea.